Namaste children, welcome back to today's class. Today we are going to learn the new chapter called Sound. The topics covered in this chapter are introduction, what produces sound, how sound produced by humans and also animals, propagation of sound, and some basic terms related to sound, that is amplitude, time period and frequency of a vibration, audible and inaudible sound, noise and music, noise pollution, and hearing impairments. So, the topics covered in today's class are meaning of sound, what is the basic cause for all different kinds of sounds, that is vibrations, sound produced by humans and sound produced by animals. Sound and music are a regular part of our everyday life. We are all aware of some of the sounds and sound produced by humans, animals, birds, and moving vehicles on the road, working of machines, television sets, and so on. We communicate with another person by speaking, hearing, and replaying again through speaking. So, from this, it concludes that sound plays a very important role in our daily life. Sound is an integral and essential part of nature. We know that it is very important. So, try to understand its various features and also the properties. So, the basic concepts concerning sound are causes of generation of sound, reasons for differences in sounds from different sources, mechanism of propagation of sound from one place to another, and mechanism of hearing of sound by the human ears. Is sound is very important? Yes. Sound is very important. The first and the most thing is for communication. We generally communicate to the another person by speaking. Is communication is done only by speaking? No. Communication is also done by striking some of the objects. For example, ringing of a bell in the school. It indicates that the particular period is ended up and the next period is yet to start. Even communication is done by music also. As we know that listening to the pleasant music keeps our mind fresh, important even for locating the objects. Sound. Sound is a form of energy. Sound is a form of energy which produces the sensation of hearing in our ears. We all are familiar about the different forms of energy like mechanical energy, heat energy, light energy, chemical energy, and so on, which we already learnt in the earlier class, that is in class 6th. We also know that one form of energy can be converted into another form of energy, that is law of conservation. When we clap our hands, a sound is produced. So think as to which form of energy did we use in producing the sound. Yes, of course, it is a muscular energy. We can produce sound even by striking, shaking, blowing, rubbing, or plucking of different objects. When we look after all these situations, shows that in all these cases we actually set one or another objects into vibrations. Whenever a source produces a sound, there are always some vibrations, whether it is seen or unseen. Therefore, it concludes that vibrations are the basic cause for all kinds of sounds. So, here we can observe in the picture there is a person holding iktara. It is a simple single string musical instrument. When we pluck its string, or you can call it as a wire, it gently, it produces the sound. The wire is seen to vibrate. At the same time, it produces the sound. So the musicians use a boat to vibrate the string of the iktara, which produces lovely sound and also songs. You can observe in the picture called as duffly and lightly strike its top layer, or we can call it as a membrane, with our palm. We can feel the skin vibrating and it produces some sound. We can clearly see such vibrations in the case of our school drum also. Drum and strike it with its stick, or you can strike it with our hand. The drum produces sound. Put some colored very tiny paper balls on the drum membrane. So the paper balls are seen to dance up and down the membrane when we hit the membrane. When the drum is producing the sound, simultaneously the paper balls jumps up and down. So the movement of balls up and down is due to the vibration of membrane along with producing the sound. So in the next activity, you can see here taking a tin can, cut its ends, cut the neck of a big balloon with scissors and stretch it over one end of the can as shown in the picture. Make sure that balloon is stretched flat. Put a rubber band over the balloon to hold it in its place tightly. Put some dry grains, maybe a rice or green grams, on the stretched balloon. While holding the can vertically, ask your friend to speak or make some sound from the open end of the can. So when he speaks or makes the sound, the grains which are on the surface of the balloon starts jumping up and down. It is due to the sound vibrations that make the grains jump up and down. So these are all the activities which help us to realize that the basic cause of all kinds of sound is the vibrations. We know that vibrations can be the to and fro or back and front motion of the given object. In some cases, the extent of vibrations of the source may be so very small that it may not be possible to detect them. But in some objects, vibrations are seen easily. That is, sound produced by drums, bells, strings of guitar, and so on. So you can see here in the picture some of the musical instruments named and their vibrating part produced sounds. It is mentioned clearly. Veena, stretched string; sitar, stretched string; violin, stretched string; tabla, stretched membrane; mridangam, stretched membrane; drum, stretched membrane; flute, air column; mouth organ, air column. So these are the musical instruments and their vibrating parts. Yes, now question arises. How the human being produces the sound? We are all fond of hearing the sound of our family members, friends and neighbors, and of course the great singers past and also the present. Now the question arises, how do human produces sound? Then we all know that sound is produced due to the vibrations. Then what vibrates in our body system that helps every one of us to produce our sound? Yes, it is the voice box or the larynx of the human body system that helps to produce sound. The sound box, or you can call it as a voice box, has two vocal cords stretched across it. They are stretched across the voice box in such a way that there is a narrow gap or slit between them. so where air can pass through this slit. The lungs force air through the slit between the vocal cords, and this make them vibrate and produce sound. So the human body has muscles attached to the vocal cords. So these muscles pull the attached ligaments and make the vocal cords tighter or loosened. The second is thinner or thicker. These changes in the vocal cord help to make the pitch of the sound produced and make it shriller or flatter. So this is happened due to the muscles attached to the vocal cords. There are difference in the sizes, tautness and thickness of the vocal cords in men, women and children. This different results in each group having their characteristic of its sound of its own. So we can understand this with the help of an activity. Take a rubber band and stretch it to its maximum extent, leaving a narrow gap between the two sides. Blow air through the slit and listen to the sound. You will find that the rubber band is vibrating and the sound is produced as the same way our vocal cords also works. Now, why does the voice of children, men and women are different? I already said that the voice of children, women and men are different because they have a different length of vocal cords. So here the vocal cord in women is about 15 millimeter long, in men it is around 20 millimeter long, and in children have very short vocal cords. Then how do sound produced by animals? There are endless varieties of sounds produced by birds and animals. Some of them are very pleasant to hear and some are not so pleasant, while some of them are definitely unpleasant also. Different types of birds and animals also have different mechanisms and setups in their bodies for producing their sounds. Now let us look at some of these mechanisms. So first, if I speak about the animals, like human beings, there are quite a few animals that produce a sound by means of vocal cords. When dogs bark, cats meow, horses neigh, lions roar and cows moo. These are the animals uses vocal cords in producing the sound. If I speak about the birds, birds have a ring of cartilage called syrinx in their windpipe. They use it instead of the vocal cords in their voice box to produce their characteristic sounds. This sound is a jarring or you can say unpleasant one in case of birds like crow, but it is pleasant and soothing one in case of birds like quail, parrot and myna. If I speak about the next animal called insects, insects like mosquitoes and bees make their characteristic sounds by vibrating their wings rapidly. The more rapid the vibration of their wings, then the higher is the pitch of the sound produced by them. So the one interesting fact I would like to tell regarding the bees. Bees, when returning to their hive, are loaded with honey and therefore heavier. So then they vibrate their wings less rapidly compared to the case when they are on their way for collecting the honey. This difference in the pitch of their buzzing sound helps trained persons to decide whether the bees are returning back to their hive, that is after collecting the honey, or are on their way to collect the honey. Next, frogs, while croaking, are known to puff their vocal sacs up their throat like a balloon. Additional inflation of their throat helps them to make their croaking louder. As the balloon bulges more and more, then there is a producing of sound. Croaking of sound is louder. So this is all about today's class, children, and in next class we'll meet with the next concepts. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you, children.